So that's gone and happened. If you've not seen the news already, what's happened is the following. Everything was going out. There was a few people linked with a Chelsea job. Maguire, Maresca was one of them. McKenna was another one. De Zerbi was strangely quiet. And speaking to Chelsea fans, they thought it was going to happen. And then I was thinking, do you know what? He's building something here. Do you know what? Good on him. He's going to put himself forward, and he's going to do, ironically, what McKenna's done now, which was go to the club, make it, I'm really keen on the job, etc., etc. Come back to Leicester and go, look, they really want me. What are you going to do now to upgrade my contract? The same way that that McKenna did to us about this time last year. McKenna actually came for an interview at Seagrave. He then went back and re-signed a new contract, which I thought was great. But this one didn't end the way I thought it was. I want to get in some of the thoughts, but I think, I just want to get a little bit of the raw information out there. First thing that comes through, John Percy is probably the number one when it comes to Leicester transfer news and Leicester, well, in this case, management news. Obviously, he says here, around again, they want him as the number one head coach. And when Percy speaks, we listen. And I was like, very likely to happen this week. So he's coming out very strongly. And then slowly, one after another, what's it called? Jordan Blackwell from the Leicester Mercury. Then you've got David Ornstein coming out with stuff. We've got Ben Jacobs coming out with stuff. Owen Palmer-Atkin coming out with things as well. So it wasn't just people in the sphere. I was thinking, Fabrizio was saying stuff. And I was thinking, yeah, that's Fabrizio's job. And also, Fabrizio does get stuff right. He's been wrong about the Tillemans thing before. But I thought personally he was going to be using this as a decoy to go, look, say this stuff, say I'm really keen on the job, make Leicester come and go, fine, we'll give you the contract that you want, so stay here and build the project. Next thing you know, we're seeing this, just to fill people in. Ben Jacobs, again, after talks, the last 48 hours, Enzo Maresca is the unanimous choice for Mauricio Pochettino. Again, okay, Ben Jacobs, sure. And then another source comes out, and you're thinking, oh, here we go again. This time, David Ornstein, again, one of the best journalists in terms of this sphere, and one of the most reliable. 5-year appointment looks like they've given the coaching vacancy. I want to get a couple of my thoughts on the ownership and in terms of our ownership and things like that in just a second. But again, 5 years. Chelsea are going all in on this. I'll get to your thought. I'll get my thoughts in a second of what it can work, but this day has been so confusing. I think I've gone through, if you want to go through the 5 stages of grief, I think I've went through pretty much all 5 of them at this moment. Let's go 5 stages of grief. Not only do you get the football, you also get a little bit of knowledge of psychology. Hey, let me get into the 5 stages of grief. And let's go find a good one. That I've been through all kind of 4. Again, let me know if you've thought of this as well. But let me just get this up. Probably the worst picture to use, but anyway. So it was denial. So yeah, he's using it. That was where I was at earlier. The denial phase, going, yeah, that's fine. It's not going to happen, whatever. Then there was anger. I was like, why is he leaving it? What he said at the beginning of the season, he wanted to do this. Bargaining is kind of where I'm at now, which is a little bit on. We'll get on some of the others. Fabrizio Romano mentioned things earlier. Fine, if he's going to do this, here's how to get it. And then eventually I'll get to probably the depression stage tomorrow, acceptance. Do I blame Enzo for taking the job? No. And yes. Number one, I understand why he would want the job. But what was so surprising, and it's something that was reported on by Rob Tanner and a few other people about this, when he signed, he got rid of all the backroom staff. People like, I forgot his name now. I forgot the goalkeeping coach that was here for ages. Let me know in the comments. I've just, the name's gone out of my head, and a couple of other people that have been behind the scenes. He got rid of all of them because he had to get his people in. His people had to do the job that he was good at, because if he messed this up, he ruined his job in management. Because after Palmer and this, his career is pretty much shot. But to take the Chelsea job, I understand it, and it is a case of I back myself. And the way I feel about Maresca has changed massively. As you've shown, a year of what we've done with Anil, with Luke, with all these people on the show, and we've analysed the formation, and I've loved it. It all feels like for nothing. And this has really scuppered what I think we're going to do in the next season. Because we're back to kind of where we were at the end of the season. Who's going to be here? Because Harry Winks has mentioned he wants to play this way of football. This is why he signed. Yannick Vestergaard was going to sign a contract because he likes this kind of football. Mads Hermansen, I think he'll be in here next season, but he was brought in for this specific purpose. For Tywell, still think will sign. I've heard that I need to get his name right now. On a one. Let me see if I can find his name. David Hanko apparently has been around the training ground on a similar note as well. So again, looking good there. It's happened with McAtee and Harrison as well. Doesn't say it's always going to happen, but we're getting positives there. Certain players were signed to play this style of football. Now, when we come into next season, what's that style of football going to be? We don't know. So the rebuild is really taken. It's thrown everything. The rug's been pulled under the feet, and I understand Enzo's desire, but we have to be strong as a football club. We will be. My thing is, this is where we go to the owners, and we go. Last year, you got it right. You hired Enzo. You got the backroom staff in. You got the players in. You took a gamble. It worked, and we're in the Premier League. Great. This is another level of challenge. What do we do from here? And I don't know what the answer is. Now, if you're looking at there's plenty of managers that are available at the moment. Some of them are displeasing. Some of them are not very good. The main ones that have been bandied around, the one with the most legs has been Carlos Corberán. And the second one that I would love would be Graham Potter, but it has to be the right opportunity. And we can't put all of our eggs in one basket like we did last time. Leicester City have been tracking him since his days where he was in Sweden. So they know what they're doing. But it's come at such a bad time, man. We were just ramping up. What players were coming in? There's so many things that have just been the rug's been pulled out because we bought all these players in to fit that system, and now he's gone. Just one thing I want to end him, and so Fabrizio has been tweeting about this non-consistently, but I just want to mention one more on this. If this would go away, there we go. As long as that's his side sign for Chelsea, agreement between Maresca and Chelsea is on the contract being sealed. No issue on salary. Understand the Maresca's medical staff need discussing the club's compensation talks. If I was Leicester City, because of how much this has screwed us over, the apparent wage was like 10 million to speak for him, which I understand. When we did this, or when we signed the contract, that was quite a lot of money for the Championship if it didn't work. Then trying to buy him out that contract is quite hard. We were burnt from Brendan Rodgers. We wanted to make it like 30 million it was going to be. But we need to make sure that if all of them are going, Chelsea are being milked for every single penny that they are. I don't believe in their ownership. I don't believe it's going to work. I think that they will get mid-table next season, to be perfectly honest with you. And I don't think the Chelsea fans are happy, to be honest. A lot of them were not pleased with Pochettino. And I understand why. They should have been performing a lot better. However, the situation they were in, the players coming, there's so many players being bought into the team. If Enzo doesn't hit this on the ground running, the Chelsea fans are turning. They're already not annoyed at the board, and they've just given him a 5-year contract. I was speaking to a couple of people mentioned me, what do you think about him? And what did they say? They just went, we've gone from Pochettino to this, to Maresca, and he could be a good manager, and we are trying to do an Arsenal. It's a little bit, but what are you trying to achieve? Are you trying to get what potential Champions League football? Enzo could do that, but he's so young in his management. And if he has got a good connection with the owners, and what I've heard from Maresca is he sent out Leicester the scouting team go scout these players to go bring them in. That's why I didn't make a video on it, because I went on, I thought it wasn't going to happen. I just hope we milk them for every single penny we got. And I've been messaging a couple of Chelsea fans, and they just go, "We understand." Like, just kind of like not ranting a little bit, just going, "Look, screw you guys. I hope you get mid-table. I hope FFP ruins you, and I hope you don't win a trophy in 100 years." And a lot of them just said, "Fair enough." Which again, I'm not just like they're not like, "Oh, you're hating it." We feel the same way. It's really scuppered us. This next step is vital that we get right. Graham Potter, I would love, and I think if a lot of the same things just fit, and he can come in and bring all his other people in, depending on who we've got. But this one hurts because this has pulled the rug right under us. Now, what do we do from here? Again, Enzo backs himself to get the Chelsea job, but I think it's going to be, he's used to being like a big fish in a small pond. Now, the possession style of football and things like that, and the one way of playing, if things start to go wrong at Chelsea, there isn't stopping that. It's going to go wrong. And 5-year contract to buy him out of that at a decent wage is going to be a lot of money. Am I annoyed at the board for the way we did things and for the clause? Not really. My thing is, look, this happened. This is business. What now? When we interviewed Rob Tanner a few years ago, he's mentioned as well that they don't just keep tabs on players, they keep tabs on managers. And I hope that is still the case, because some of them, I'm hoping we didn't place all our eggs in one basket. So we did that with Brendan Rodgers and it backfires massively. The advantage of this is that it's not even June, the transfer window isn't open, and we have a lot of time to go. But the main core of that, which is the manager, because the formation, the players we brought in, the transfer links, the backroom staff, the formation, the player profiles have all tied into Enzo Maresca. Now he's been poked out. I'm hoping this, I don't think it's going to implode, but it's made that goal of staying up a lot harder, because the idea is we went to the championship, we got stuff right, we got stuff wrong, and I think everybody would admit that. With Enzo got stuff wrong, the formations were wrong. At times we were losing games we shouldn't be losing, even though we went on a ridiculous run at the beginning of the season. We got a lot of stuff right. And then we were going to go, cool, we understand this now. Let's take this to the next level. If anybody been in a job before, when you've said about 6 months, you kind of understand your role in the team, what you do and how you work. Then after that, you go, okay, cool. Now let me own that and let me take that up to a next level. Now that's all gone. And it's gutting. It really is gutting. I'm not going to sit here and go, oh no, I think you guys have known. I'm a huge fan of his. I personally think I think if he gave us one more season, but then the Chelsea job will be available this time next season, in my opinion. If he gave us one more season and goes, look, I'll keep you up, I'll build this, and then I'll move on, I would have been happier. But at the same time, can you turn down Chelsea? Yes and no. McKenna has re-signed a contract with Ipswich. I thought McKenna out of the two was going to be the likely to move on, and he's re-signed. I've heard that Chelsea, I think I was listening to Fabrizio Romano on one of his update videos, and he was mentioning that they declined him. They declined, said we're not interviewing you. So what do we do from here? Kind of feels a little bit like last season. Not as extreme, but to the point where who's going to be here? Certain players have made up their mind because they don't fit the system or whatever. Players that are on the fence. I think Vardy will still be here. But Vestergaard, Dennis Pratt's gone, Kelechi Iheanacho's gone, Wilfred Ndidi, what does he want to do? Ricardo Pereira loved that role. If Chelsea come and they try and steal some of our players, I want 100 million plus. I don't give a damn what they say. You're getting, you want that money? Cool. You want to play that game? You want to take Enzo for this amount of money? Fine. You're going to have to cost it. Give us that money. But I hope we've got transfer targets in place. I hope we've not just relied on Enzo Maresca to go, yeah, whatever he wants to do, we'll do that. And that is useful sometimes, but it shows you it can't always be useful, because what are we doing for the next few years? For the next year, let's just take the next 3 years. We need another manager that comes in that enjoys the project. Now, the advantage of what the position we're in, A, it's early in the window, as we mentioned, and B, you can look, if you're a manager, you look at Leicester and you go, they back their owners back them, they're well liked, they are a good run club for the most part. Shout out John Ruggie. You know what I mean. I knew all you're gonna boo. But we were a well-run club overall. What now? Brighton are sniffing around for a new manager. Graham Potter might go back there. With his tail between his legs a little bit, or do you want to start afresh? If I had the choice of him, I'd go to Brighton. I don't know what we do. The club were brave. I think it's a harder decision this time than last time. You look at who we were linked with last year: Kieran McKenna, Scott Parker, Enzo Maresca didn't a name that just didn't die for one reason or another. Obviously, he became the manager. Obviously, some truth to it. Jesse Marsh was in the picture, maybe, and a couple of others. And I was like, none of these are doing anything for me. It's like they're just looking at it going, no. But then Enzo Maresca was a special one, and the one that got the job. And I was really happy and really excited. I'm hoping we can find another one of another kind of manager that's out there. A European manager they will be backed. And I just really hope that we get this one right. Enzo, we got right. And the best thing to do is now cash in for him and see what happens. But we've got to get this one right, because it could lead to another situation where we don't have the money at this point in time to go, yeah, let's just get rid of all these and bring all these new ones in. This is going to hurt. I think this is really going to hurt us for the short term. But in the long term, I think we will be okay. We just need that Premier League safety, and we just need this FFP to go to end whenever that is, because I hate FFP in terms of all this finances. And I watch football. I like to analyze the games. I like to talk about players and stuff like that. And I don't know. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this little bit of a ranty, all over the place kind of videos. But I think in this situation, you need to get your voice out there and see what sticks with people. You might not agree with everything I said. You might not agree with some things I said, but leave it in the comments. I'd like to talk to you about it at least. I was going to do it again. I was going to do the end of year awards. This is scuppered everything. Everything's been scuppered. So let's see how it goes. Thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it. We will be back with regular videos when information comes out. Again, I was silent on this because I heard some rumors, didn't believe them, and then today it just went up from level 5 to level 10. Just went whoom. And then, so hence this video. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate your time. See you all in the next video. So goodbye.